First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next. You found us at postwrestling.com and whatever podcast app you're using right now. And it's Tuesday, and you know what that means.
It means we're live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, YouTube room. How are we doing? Happy Booker T Appreciation Night.
Yes. Happy Booker T Appreciation Night, everybody. Wow, what a time.
Have you been celebrating your Booker T celebration appreciation
Yeah, I
night?
fought someone today in the grocery store.
Oh, really?
Started punching him, did a spin-a-rooney, got my balls out. Is that what Booker did in that match? Pretty sure his balls come out in that match.
Probably. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Can't think of anything else going on today, but yes, it is officially Booker T Appreciation Day and evening. Braden, how are you doing?
I'm just in the Booker T spirit, right? Like, I went out, I drank 4 Red Bulls, like the big ones too.
You had 4?
That's what Booker T does, right?
Oh, okay. All right.
Right. I'm just doing what Booker T. No, I haven't actually had any Red Bull today, but that's what Booker T would do. Because I've heard many stories about Booker T loving the Red Bull. I mean, we've watched NXT in the last 3 years. He definitely loves his Red Bull. I don't know what else I did to celebrate Booker T Appreciation Day today, but I can't do a really good spin-a-rooney. That's just being honest. But yeah, love Booker T.
Absolutely,
so much.
Absolutely. So I hope wherever you are listening, whether it be in Canada, the US, Australia, the UK, Ireland, wherever, that you're having a great Booker T Appreciation Day this March 17th.
St. Booker's Day.
St. Booker's Day, yes.
Slancha.
Slancha. No, I am here in my Guinness varsity jacket, as well as my Lilo and Stitch
Nice.
Cloverleaf t-shirt. So I am representing the green for our Irish patrons and all those Americans who think they're Irish. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. How are we doing?
Is Lilo and Stitch Irish?
I have no idea. I've never seen it, but this shirt's cool.
You've never seen Lilo and Stitch? It's like wearing a band shirt and not knowing. I mean, it is a nice shirt, but I feel like you should. I feel like you would really like it, actually, especially the original.
I'm sure I'd love it. I love Disney. Yeah. I love Pixar. I mean, but come on, this shirt's pretty cool.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like I haven't watched the new one. Keep putting it off, or I feel like I watched it and I fell asleep to it, but it looked fun too. But happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Yes, we're going green today. Well, you are. I'm in all my all black as per usual, but every year I forget. And then it comes to March 17th, and I'm like, damn it, I don't have that many green things. So every year I keep forgetting, like, maybe I should just buy something.
I'm lucky because I work in a bar, so I very much know when St. Patrick's Day is. We are provided with a lot of stuff. I did get a very nice, I don't really like Jameson, but I did get a very nice long-sleeved Jameson t-shirt this year, which I very much like. But this Guinness jacket is awesome that I have.
It looks I thought you were wearing the Poisonrana. I thought you were a Steiner brother for a second there.
Big fan of this Guinness jacket, but it always comes the day after my mum's birthday on 3/16 day. And then this year in the UK, Mother's Day was Sunday as well. So happy belated Mother's Day to all the Mother's Day back home, all the mothers back home. But yes, I've been very aware of it being St. Patrick's Day this year.
Very green. I definitely saw it out today. I'm recording in a hotel room in Kingston, Ontario for our we have this other side gig sometimes. So apologies if I sound terrible, but I everywhere downtown. I was like, oh, what's it going to be in this small town, Ontario? And it's crazy. There's like everything is green. The pet store, the dog store's got like green like frisbees up in the thing, dogs playing with green like leashes. I'm like, this city isn't like known for Irish. It's just a bunch of alcoholics. So I got here. I look up, okay, what's a popular Irish pub near my hotel? And this was like 2:00. And I go thinking, no one's gonna be in here. Completely full, crazy, 2 p.m. I'm like, oh shit. Like, damn, I realize it's a college town. So like lots of people just going out getting absolute pissed today. So yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. Very crazy. People just get an excuse to drink. So even if you're not drinking, cheers to your water.
For me, I was working today, and recently in the city, an Irish bar that you used to actually work at closed down.
Jacy's, yeah.
Yeah, and they were the official bar for the Real Madrid supporters in Toronto. So they've been looking for a new place to watch the Real Madrid games, and they've moved over to Gabby's. They're trying us out. We're only a few minutes away from Gracie's, lots of TVs. We've got all the stations that show the Real Madrid games on. So today was probably the biggest game since they've moved to us, which was Real Madrid Man City in the second leg of the of Champions League. So we were packed. We were absolutely packed from about 3 p.m. for this game, plus doing some Patrick's Day stuff. And we've got a pretty good happy hour in the city. So, you know, we've got all the Real Madrid supporters in, and then people are finishing work and filing in, all in their green, all wanting their Guinness, all wanting their Jameson shots. And they were filling in. And man, this shift was got pretty wild.
Well, damn.
Real Madrid beat City, so that's good.
Well, that's
Arsenal
good.
won as well, so we're doing well. We're probably going to win the league. We're looking good in the Champions League. But yeah, got very busy. So normally after my shift, I come home, I go to the gym, I cook, I set up for NXT. But a few Guinness were bought today, so I did stay behind, had a couple, and then I know, like, there's the Netflix thing. We have Netflix. We know we can skip through commercials, and there's probably about 25 minutes of NXT that you can skip through and be caught up with. But it's different from Raw or SmackDown because you don't have the benefit of like a Roman Reigns entrance or a Cody Rhodes entrance or a Randy Orton entrance that goes on forever to catch up. And man, this was a challenge tonight to get through. I started about 8:10, I think, and have been pretty go, trying to cook as well, trying to take these notes, trying to watch NXT. But NXT, a lot happens. Lots of matches, lots of backstage segments. It's a pretty relentless show, and it's not as easy as a Raw or SmackDown to just start on a bit of delay. So
you hear that, John and Way?
Yeah. So it felt kind of like reviewing a Dynamite tonight, just where a lot of shit's happening. But we're here. We made it. 10:05 p.m. We're here. We're ready to talk about NXT.
I heard some Irish music live. I had one Guinness. I split the G, and then I found a country bar. Shout out the Buckle, and some guy was singing Elvis, and I was like, that is not St. Patrick's Day music, but I'll check it out. And people were doing towers of green beer. I never understand the putting dye in your beer, but all the power to them. And then this guy who looked like Timothy Chalamet for some reason, singing country music. He finishes after I had a few, and then I was like, all right, I'll go back to my hotel, watch NXT. The DJ then flicks on Nickelback, and then all these girls start line dancing to Nickelback. Mind you, it's like 7:50 at night. It's not like it's
sorry. You can line dance to Nickelback. What
apparently it's Canadian. It was like one of the heavier ones too, I think. Fuck, which one was it? Like it wasn't the Monday Night Raw one, but the other one. But they were doing this whole thing with like a clap in it, like I was like, I want to learn, but it was not the right time to learn that. But and then I found, I like TikTok whenever you travel to places, because you can find cool
things
bars
to do
or places. Yeah. So I found this place literally near my hotel called El Gringo Loco Tacos or something. So I was like, well, that's kind of funny. And you knock on a shady door, and then a guy opens this little window, and he's like, okay. And then I just ordered some birria tacos, and they were pretty good. I got a Jarrito pineapple. So that's my beverage of choice for this podcast here. So yeah, it's cold up, way more snow up here than there is Toronto. So, and it's not that far away. So.
Like, I know anyone listening outside of Toronto to Post Wrestling must be bored of all the weather talk, but it's wild, because yesterday was like, last week at some point I wore shorts to work. And then yesterday was like 12, 13 degrees. I went for a walk. I was in like my more like my spring jacket. And then today I wake up and it's negative 20. It's crazy. Like, what the fuck's going on? It's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. Well, it's going to be warm soon, hopefully. But
I mean, it will for me, because a little bit of housekeeping. This will be my last upNXT for a few weeks.
Done. He's tapped out. It's over.
Done. Jacy, Jayne retained. I'm good. We're the series finale. Booker T Appreciation Night. How else better to end? But no, I'm actually going to Vietnam. I'll be in Vietnam, landing around this time next week, I believe. So yes. I believe you've got a post regular, Jack Wanan, filling in for me while I'm away.
Shout out Big Jack. He's going to be joining me the next few weeks talking about some NXT. And then for those who will be watching, those who will be standing or seated and delivering, April 4th, the head honcho, John Pollock, will join me for NXT Stand and Deliver from St. Louis. And I mean, I'll sell you the show right now. They announced Sexy Red is going to be at Stand and Deliver. Per chance she performs or gets involved. So just think of myself and John Pollock discussing Sexy Red. I sold you the show.
Honestly, I'm thinking of rerouting my flight to St. Louis
right
now.
Just to see Sexy Red.
To see Sexy Red, yes.
Exactly. So yes.
No, I hope John can break down every single lyric. And yes. I'm sure that's going to be a treat.
Yeah, John, I actually know that he is a really big Sexy Red fan. I know he prefers Cardi, but we'll see what happens. Maybe Shawn Michaels will twerk. Was it Lola Vice and Sexy Red last time twerking?
I think
NXT Heritage Moment. Yeah, we'll run that back maybe.
What was the Shawn line? Come to daddy, mama, or something like that.
Repeat it. Yeah.
Sugar. That was it. Yes.
We'll hear that again for sure. Yeah, but Cardi B. Cardi B was SummerSlam. We get Sexy Red coming to Stand and Deliver. But yes, April 4th. So the next few weeks, Jack will join me, and then you will be back. But we have pre-recorded some shows for our Patreon, so the shows won't stop there, including some recent shows. We've banked WrestleMania 17. So we have recorded our huge review of quite possibly the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Well, this will be out on the 25th anniversary of this show from April 1st, 2001. Houston, we have a problem. We will release this on, I think, the night before April 1st to give it a 25th anniversary of WrestleMania X7. I'm talking Rock Austin, TLC 2, Raven, Big Show, Kane, and a whole lot more in one of the biggest, one of the best.
Man, this is my favorite WrestleMania. I'm not going to try and go against the grain here. Like, it's the best WrestleMania. A lot of people think it's the best WrestleMania. I can't believe we've never talked about it before in full. We spent a lot of time on this. We went almost 4 hours on this show, split across 2 days trying to record this thing because we had to do it justice. Like, it's an incredible show, and we wanted to give as much time to Rock and Austin as we do for Raven versus Kane versus Big Show and the Gimmick Battle Royal. Top to bottom, yes. This is such a fun show to talk about. A lot of interesting stuff going on as well. 2001. Do you think WrestleMania 17 is the end of the Attitude Era? Obviously, WCW purchased the week before. We go into details about that as well. Yeah, really, really great show. I had a lot of fun reminiscing and talking about this with you. And I think a lot of you will get a kick out of it. I think this show is close to many wrestling fans' hearts. And yeah, I'm looking forward to you all hearing about it. So April 1st,
absolutely,
it'll be dropping in your Patreon feeds.
This was a big one, but we talk about so much. Like every match equals so much discussion about like what was going on, some big what ifs, the Austin heel turn, you know, WCW in that box all the way up there, and the gods, and so much more. The gimmick
WCW wrestlers.
Yeah, this is like one of my favorite. I don't own too many WWF DVDs anymore, but I kept this one simply because I think it's the most watched show I've seen. Like, I know the commentary beat by beat. That's how, like, certain things I'm like, wait, I know what he's gonna say. Like, we had a lot of fun with this, so that will be released in a few weeks. But that's not all you get. If you sign up as a friend, it's $5 a month at our Patreon. You get that show coming up in a few, but you get everything else. We do a show called Was Next, where we go back in time and review NXT in its glory days. We've done the money-making fighting Legionnaires from the July 3rd 2014 edition, but we will bank an episode tomorrow. I think we're going to record the, is it July 10th 2014 edition? Quick maths, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I forget what was on there, but I know we're in crazy territory. We're like the 4 horsewomen: Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha, and Becky now, who's recently debuted. So Sami Zayn as well. So if you're an NXT fan, that's definitely the show and the podcast series for you. We've dropped a new Champ is Here a few weeks ago, looking at all the different runs. There's tons of movie reviews, including Kill Bill Part 2. And I mean, today, St. Patrick's Day, we have a tradition, and we've made it this far, so we might as well finish the whole damn series, because we released this morning Leprechaun 6 Back to the Hood. Yeah, we
mentioned it on the show, but this graphic annoys me so much, because if you were to see this for the first time, you must think, oh, this is the second Leprechaun movie, because it has the number 2 in it. No, it's Leprechaun 6 Back number 2, The Hood. Yes. And the movie is as awful as the title itself. This didn't quite break me as much as that WCW review we did once, but by God, it's close.
It might be one of the good ones.
A tradition will still continue for at least another 2 years before we move on to another franchise that is somewhat related to Ireland. But yeah, these are a lot of fun to talk about. Leprechaun, it's our stupid little tradition we do every March 17th. We go through the Leprechaun horror franchises, as we like our horror films here at Poison Rana. And yeah, if last year wasn't enough where they went to the hood, this year they're going back to the hood.
It's such a treat. It's such a good film, and can't stress how much you need to go watch it instead of listening to us right now. Stop this show and go watch Leprechaun in the Hood. Back to the Hood. He smokes more green. There's no, he doesn't rap in this one, but he says some questionable things, that's for sure.
Yeah,
this one has some better actors though. This
lacked the rap, but another review we have just dropped for another show we do called Up Yours, where we go to our world champion patrons, our best subscribers, and they pick something for us to talk about. Well, we were joined by a fellow Brit friend of mine, Cactus Chris, who picked 90s UK kids TV and a selection of 6 different kid shows from the 90s, including Maid Marian and Her Merry Men with the Pancake Day rap.
Yes, I'm now a big fan of Pancake Day. I don't know what it is, but I love it very much.
It's because it's Pancake Day?
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yes.
This was a lot of fun. If you're from the UK, then there's a chance you know a lot of these shows. Chris basically made us a playlist. It has Art Attack, Zap, Funhouse, Demon Headmaster, and a few more. But it's interesting because I don't know most of this, but then obviously Neil Buchanan and Art Attack and everything. But it was it made for a fun conversation, and comparing like to some of the stuff that we had here in North America, like we had Art Attack, but like, you know, Nickelodeon and all that stuff. But yeah, it was a fun chat. Like any net nostalgia and stuff, and even stuff I didn't grow up with, it still was pretty funny.
So if you're new to us, we are Poison Rana. We go live every Tuesday on the Post Wrestling Network to do this little show called Up Next, where we talk about everything going on in the world of NXT. But we have our own little network as well, and you can find it by just searching Poison Rana wherever you find your podcasts, or on YouTube, Poison Rana Pod. We go live every Sunday, and we talk about everything else going on in the world of pro wrestling. We'll talk about SmackDown, Raw, the build to WrestleMania, as well as AEW. And this week, just yesterday, we did a big show covering AEW Revolution. In my opinion, front runner so far of Show of the Year, an incredible show. We talked about this in depth, everything from needles through the face to sexy Mexican men wrestling each other. And
yeah,
that's
why you like
this show. So much. This show had a lot. It did have a lot. Yeah.
I love this show too. Yeah, we
awesome.
had a ton of fun.
We broke it all down in yesterday's Poison Rana.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, $5 for the Patreon, but you can also support by giving us a follow, whether it's Spotify, Apple, YouTube, whatever it is, and check out all the other shows. We will be going live before you go off for your trip this Sunday, 2 p.m., where we'll talk about Dynamite and SmackDown and kind of everything going on. But we just did that show yesterday, and yeah, check out our YouTube. We talk about Revolution, the Bucks FTR match, stellar stuff. The whole card was just awesome, and we went through the whole thing yesterday. We also talked about Randy and Cody from SmackDown and so much more. So yeah, if you like what you hear when we talk about NXT, check us out because we have tons of other shows, and this Sunday we'll go live as well, talking about everything this week. We're going live at 2, hopefully finish by 4 p.m. because then we're going to try to scoot on over to our friends Northern Crown Wrestling. If you're in the Toronto area, you probably heard us talk about this a few times, but Northern Crown, one of the newer indie feds in the city of Toronto in the last few years, but they have been putting on some real fun stuff. And I can't stress like how much fun when we go to these shows. They do like all the local Toronto guys, and then sometimes they'll bring in some people. And I know Eric Stevens, who's now wrestling again, like from Ring of Honor, like way back in the day. This is pretty cool. They're having a bit of an open challenge with him. So I'm wondering who that's going to be. But every time we go to Blood Brothers Brewery we like their beers too, but Northern Crown in the city of Toronto, can't stress, like they are the best to see these wild shows. The last time it was a fans bring the weapons match where someone brought a tattoo gun. Yep. Shit got wild, dude. These guys kick ass. So as I always say, support your local indie wrestling wherever you are. But if you're in the city of Toronto, Demand Lucha's been killing it too. I know they got another one coming up in April. Can't wait for that. But this Sunday, we will be at Blood Brothers for Northern Crown. So catch us there. And if you see us, say hi. I got some pins and stickers and stuff. But yeah, looking forward to seeing some wrestling because then you're going off like the next day. So we're gonna have one day to drink some beers and
my swan song. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Northern Crown have been absolutely killing it. They're a relatively new indie in the city, and every show we've been to so far has been excellent, and it's in such a great venue. One of the best venues I've been to for an indie show. Like in a brewery, Blood Brothers, they make fantastic beer. It's pretty well priced as well, this craft beer for like these times, this economy. Like I have a great time. I think they have some great non-alcoholic options as well. And yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. It's good people running this. They're fans just like you and I, and really care about the business, really care about the wrestlers. And we've been super impressed every time we've gone to these shows. So if you are in the area, I hope to see you there. And just go to Northern Crown on Instagram, and all the details are right there for how to get tickets.
Yes, give us a follow too at Poisonrana Pod, like I've said, but also Toronto area in about a month and some change. If you want to watch the granddaddy of them all, both nights with some buds. Well, we got the party for you. Poison Rana presents a 2-night WrestleMania watch party downtown Toronto at the Well National. We have the wrestling on all the screens, the sound. We have some raffles, some crazy prizes we will be announcing down the line, and some giveaways and drink specials and all that fun stuff. But this is our new venue we've done a few shows at, and it is so much fun. A shout out to people at the National if you haven't checked out that bar. They're pretty cool downtown. But we're gonna take over and have 2 nights of WrestleMania. So if you're in Toronto and you want to check out our watch parties and have some fun, Poisonrana.ca, the link to our Eventbrite is up there. But this will sell out. Looking forward to this. If you can't be there, the best thing is watching with some buds, and then we fill these bars and we have a lot of fun with games and whatnot. So definitely looking forward. I'm looking forward to this more than I am WrestleMania. Watching with people. Last time we had the Rumble, these dudes were all walking around doing the Oba strut and like just fans getting like into it, right? Like it's infectious. So nothing wrong with watching wrestling by yourself, like I did tonight in my hotel room. But when it's a big one, sometimes you got to get around with the boys, even people you don't know sometimes, and watch the wrestling, because hey, wrestling brings us together just like it is right now. So if you are in Toronto, we will be there. Poisonrana.ca. Looking forward to that 2 nights. It's a lot, but it's gonna be good. When you come back, that's in a few weeks. That's like a month. There's still lots of time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we are on the road to WrestleMania. Quite a lot happened on Raw last night. You just mentioned Obafemi doing the Obafemi walk. A little bit of a swerve early on in Raw yesterday, with Seth Rollins coming out and Paul Heyman confronting him, bringing out F5, saying F5 and bringing out Brock Lesnar. But then Obafemi coming out and hitting the Fall of Man on Brock, answering his challenge. And it will be Brock versus Oba at WrestleMania.
Yeah, like, not mad at this direction. I think that's what every fan was calling for, or at least hoping for. But weird how we got there. Like, why not just go? Like, okay, maybe plans changed and they maybe had to maneuver things, but like they really lost me with more of those like masked men running around, and then you're teasing Seth, which I'm like, okay, that seems maybe like the logical match, but then it's just Oba. It's like, oh shit, okay.
Like, it was weird because the segment ended and I was like, oh, okay, it'll be a triple threat. That's not what I was expecting, but cool. Maybe some politics going on there. Cool. And then later in the show, the graphic just throws up Brock versus Oba. So I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm happy with that. I think I'm not particularly thrilled about Brock Lesnar being back, but if he is back, this is the kind of stuff I want to see him do. The Seth match would have made sense and would have been like kind of a make good of a bad situation, you know, with all the injuries and stuff. But this is what I want to see. There's only really a couple of matches I want to see from Brock, and I'd say it's Oba, I'd say it's Gunther, and Braun Breaker. And I think to do this match at WrestleMania, I think it establishes Oba in such a good way for someone who's been on the main roster for just since the Rumble. As you said, the walk is over, the chant is over. Like, he seems a big deal, and the ease he picked up Brock on that Fall of Man, I thought was pretty impressive. So I kind of liked it. I liked the sort of misdirection at the beginning of the show yesterday, and still wonder what's going on with Seth and what his direction is. But I'm happy with this one. Oba v Brock, yeah, I'm all for that.
This is more exciting than Seth and Brock easily. We've seen it like a bunch of times, and like there's been 100%. Good ones for sure, but especially that triple threat with Cena way back when. But like, this is way more exciting. And if Brock is only going to be doing how many Manias left, a SummerSlam here and there, like, okay, people like us who are assuming that if Minnesota SummerSlam, that could be a big one-time retirement match for Brock, but maybe that's not the case. Maybe he's still got like years in him to do matches where he's just suplexing people. But I think Oba should crush him, hit a few of these power bombs, like, it's going to be the Brock Goldberg WrestleMania match. Hopefully not the Brock Goldberg WrestleMania 20 match. I meant the later,
Yeah,
the later one,
match.
and not the Survivor Series one.
Yeah.
Although that would be pretty shocking if you just had Oba just fall from grace and crush him and pin him. But yeah, I'm expecting like a 10-minute match maximum, 10, 12 minutes, if that. And it's just car crash, go through the barricade, suplexes, and then some power bombs. And hopefully, Oba standing tall like he did over here, but at WrestleMania over Brock, like that's a big deal. And then you got to push this guy like to the moon after crushing like one of the ultimate destroyers here in WWE lore, essentially. So this could be a real like rocket jumpstart for Oba once this happens. And one of the best things I saw after this was Kofi Kingston on Twitter being like, avenge us. And now I'm like, yo, Oba, you better kick that dude's ass. So yeah, it's weird how we got here, because I could definitely care less about whatever that Seth universe thing is going on with the masked men, but right away swerving and going left to this, it's like, yes, this is exactly what everyone wants. So perfect addition to WrestleMania. Better than a surprise open challenge. It's like, no, do this. And then I need before that Brock to get some revenge on Oba 2 to really heat this up. Just two mammoths.
A big pull apart,
going
that
at
kind
it.
of thing.
Yeah.
I'm super happy for this, and like super happy for Obafemi, because he's been fantastic, and I hope this really establishes him. I do wonder with Seth is Braun potentially going to be ready for WrestleMania? Is Heyman going to get a new recruit? Because it definitely seems that Theory and Logan are going for the tag titles with the Usos. So I wonder if Heyman recruits someone else to the Vision, or whether it's Braun Breaker. But that one's still up in the air. I think Jelly Roll's, he's a SmackDown guy. Come on, Braden.
Well, he could beef with, like, he's beefed with Logan and Austin Theory before. It did feel like they were almost toying with going back to something with them. Was it a few weeks back? But like Seth, you would imagine Braun is back if they pivot from the Brock stuff, right? I don't know.
I can't think who else you could be putting in that position at this point, unless it's a complete like out of nowhere pick. But speaking of out of nowhere, we also had Randy Orton on Zoom via a potato, it seems.
Was it Zoom, or was this like a Razor flip phone from like,
I know, right?
2007.
But he had this interview with Michael Cole, but was on the phone the whole time to some mentor.
Don't you hate that when you people are just on the phone all the time?
Oh, it drives me mad.
I fucking hate it.
It drives me mad. I yelled at a guy in the gym the other day because he just started
having a conversation.
I was like, he literally said these words: "Hey Dan, just calling for a catch up." I was like, "No, you're not. No, you're not. You're taking that out here." But yes, Randy reminding us that there is more than one royal family in pro wrestling. Who was he talking to?
Bob Orton.
Yeah, I mean, he could be talking about his own family for sure.
Ted DiBiase.
Jr.
Ted DiBiase Jr.
You think?
Break him out of jail. Do a whole angle. It's all work. Okay. Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon. Okay.
Well, what other
elaborate on that?
If it's not actually his family, which his dad Bob Orton.
I mean,
not his family meaning legacy. Then
I don't know. It's WrestleMania season. It's Cody Rhodes. Next year is Saudi. Is this the Dwayne tease once again?
I don't know. Well, he didn't get quite the Oscar buzz, I guess, but I don't think so. Come on.
No.
I don't know. This is for SmackDown, right? The person's going to show up, you think?
I don't know if he's showing up at SmackDown or if this is the longer build to WrestleMania.
I'm not even fronting. When I watched this today, I started laughing because I was like, you're doing another mystery. You're doing more Scooby-Doo shit, but this is more classic wrestling.
Hey, what's wrong with the mystery? Come on. You want intrigue. You want to left with stuff to make you want to watch the next show.
But okay, like you're saying The Rock. I don't know if that's necessarily true. That big if true, but
I don't know. I mean, Cowboy Bob Orton makes sense, but it's not the most
Dad.
exciting thing in the world, is it?
And then he's gonna be like, "Hey, Cody, look, my dad's still here, and he loves that I've been champion." Or like, just rub shit into. Just don't do any blading with Bob Orton, and we'll be okay. I think that's the main thing. But yeah, I'm not sure. Like, it made me go, "Oh, is it his dad? Oh, is it like legacy?" But I don't think we're gonna be doing anything with Teddy Jr. So it makes me kind of think a little outside the box. You went Rock. I just went, oh, well, McMahon, Shane. I don't know. Like, I can't. Triple H, like he's family. Ric Flair, Evolution. Like, think of all the different families that Randy has kind of had. It's just going to be his fucking dad. So sure.
Yeah.
There's no, you can't get Goldust. So like, I don't know. Yeah. Big mystery. But we talked about the heel turn needed to happen, and makes this story a lot more interesting for the next few weeks. And this is the next part of it, already teasing some stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's his dad. It's my safe bet.
Cowboy Bob. Okay.
With a cast on, and then he beats Cody with it. Oh wait, no more bleeding. Can Cody bleed on him? Is that allowed?
Oh, it's Mania season. You can bleed all he wants. Yeah, everyone can swear.
But Bob Orton can't bleed. That's the
right. No, Bob can't. No.
Yeah.
And then we had the main event segment: CM Punk, Roman Reigns, face to face once again. What did you make of this?
Yeah, these two definitely. Like I said, the story of these two has so many layers to it from the past few years that I was waiting for this stuff last year, but then we had Seth kind of in there that they didn't talk about the reason why these two don't like each other. But now they finally are getting to that. We had the stuff with the Usos last week, but I love Punk saying he's a habitual line stepper, another Chappelle show reference that I like, and then called his fans the Punkamaniacs, which is another great line there. I thought that was pretty funny. It's like this guy told Roman, hey, I'm gonna kill you and bury you next to your dad, and Roman's just like all shocked, right? And then here Roman's like, hey, Punk, you're old, and this guy's like, you son of a bitch, and like wants to kill him. So I kind of found it funny, maybe more than serious, but just keep having these guys talk for the next few weeks and get even deeper and more real, I guess, with it. But I feel like there's certain lines that maybe people don't necessarily catch, like obviously the Samoa Joe thing. Most people understood that, but yeah, what did you think?
I've enjoyed all of them so far, and I enjoyed this. I wouldn't say I think there's this level of awkwardness about it but makes it kind of compelling. I found it interesting that for me, it felt like that crowd was way more Roman than Punk. Like it felt like Punk was really working for the chants, and there were times he was pausing, like waiting for a CM Punk chant to happen, and sometimes he had to even lead it, whereas Roman, they kind of organically came, which was interesting. I liked the references to Samoa Joe. I like it. It feels real. Like they're doing a good job of blending what is kayfabe, what is shoot, like real animosity between them. And Punk, obviously, fantastic talker. I think they're doing a really good job of it. And I think, last week was kind of, the last 2 weeks was Punk getting under Roman's skin. And this week, Roman clearly getting to Punk. But the bit I found interesting, and I didn't work for me, was when Roman's leaving and Punk kind of goes after him and then calls him a young boy and basically tells him to get back in the ring, and Roman does. And I feel like Roman was going to go in the ring anyway, and then Punk said that line, but it did, I thought, diminish Roman quite a bit in that moment. But I'm enjoying it. It feels testy with each other, and I do enjoy when we get to like WrestleMania season and you have these feuds which feel a bit more personal and bleed a bit more reality into it, that we get those spiky moments. And I enjoy the awkward moments. I enjoy the awkwardness of it because it makes it feel more real and believable for me. So I think they're doing a pretty good job. with this feud, and I'm
like
I'm
I like
excited
the
for
fact
it.
that like if we could blend reality, that's the best like form. You know, we can bounce around like what's real and what's not, but also like I said, the story is so long from there. Like he could easily be talk more about the Shield and like hey, you did what was it last time where he said like you didn't pick me and stuff like that. Like there's more that you can go into from these two. I know you mean about the awkwardness, maybe the crowd. I feel like this is a feud where you got to pick which person you like more, right? Like they're both baby faces, but they're both famous dickheads. So like like they're characters. I mean, but like so you as the fan, you got to pick which one maybe you're gonna side with, right? And that I feel like it will be pretty split come WrestleMania. People definitely love Roman now, like big fan base for him too, not just Punk. So yeah, I didn't love this week's as much as like that initial one, but I feel like we're still leaning into something. They're gonna say more mean things, like they're trading these jabs, but I guess the ultimate one was just calling someone old that he's now like, you fucking bastard. How could you say that? How could you?
Yeah.
How could you say that to me? So yeah, what's his rebuttal gonna be? Like,
yeah, well, my teeth are real. I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, at least like the main event matches feel juicy, getting a bit serious now, starting to heat up for WrestleMania, which is good because definitely was the chamber makes it weird. It's like they clearly were still figuring some things out, and I'm sure they still are with some aspects to the Mania card. But yeah, we shall see.
Well, anything else you'd like to talk about before we get into some NXT?
I think that is about it. Yes. Let's talk about some NXT. Booker T appreciation. We're going to Houston.
Yes, we are Houston, Texas for NXT, and we're kicking things off right away with the NXT Women's Championship match. Jacy Jayne defending her title against Sol Ruca and Zaria. Houston loved Sol Ruca here. Lots of Sol Ruca chants where I would say over the last few weeks, like I think the PC have been warming to Zaria quite a bit, even though Zaria is the heel in this story. I think some people empathize with her, and I think Sol has come across kind of arrogant and selfish recently. So it was interesting going to a different crowd, and this crowd were all Sol Ruca.
Like this is the first time they've been outside of the Performance Center for a little bit. So like it's cool to see different crowds and people reacting. But Sol is definitely kind of the people in Florida have been turning on her a little bit. So it's refreshing. At least we're on track. Like even though she's kind of been a bit annoying and there's some heelness shining through, like we're meant to be cheering for her. So I guess we're back on track with that here.
So we get some super kicks from Jacy immediately. Jayne goes for an early pin on Sol, and then Jacy Rana's Sol into a big boot from Zaria. Sol breaks up a pin with a springboard splash, and then Sol goes for her like backflip over the top ropes, but kind of misses it, kind of gets caught up on the top rope here before taking out Fatal Influence.
A little scary. Like that could go really wrong. You know, we watched Revolution and we talked about it, but something I feel like we didn't was when Ospreay showed up, he does this like twister press and like his head almost bounces off the apron. And you can't imagine like, you know, like a Bushi Naito style where they used to always clip their head and neck off the apron. But he, in the last second, gets his hand up. And I felt the similar way here with Sol, like hers is similar where it's the space flying tiger drop where you're back flipping and then you backflip over the ropes. But like she luckily did not hurt herself because again, like if you land that wrong, it's very little room for error, but she managed to save herself. But yeah, like a little overzealous, I guess, with that spot.
After the commercial break, Sol takes out everyone with a crossbody. Sol and Zaria finally face off and they start trading punches. We get a discus clothesline from Zaria. Zaria then spears Jacy, and then Jacy spears, and then Soul spears Jacy, and then Soul goes up top but gets knocked off the top by Zaria. We then have a Tower of Doom with Soul taking the worst of it, and then Jacy hits a cannonball to Zaria in one corner, a cannonball to Soul in the other, but then gets caught in the F5 from Zaria, but Soul breaks it up. Zaria goes for an F5 to Soul, but Soul reverses it into an X Factor.
That was really nice. Like, she does that move anyways, but this is like countering the F5 in midair and then you dealing with the X Factor. I thought that was really clean.
We then get a Soul Snatcher to Jacy, 1, 2, but Zaria pulls Soul out the ring. And then we get an F5 to Soul Ruca on the floor from Zaria. And then whilst Zaria is hitting F5s on all of Fatal Influence, Jacy drags Soul into the ring, drags her body on top of it, and gets the pin and retains the NXT Women's Championship.
I thought they did a great job with the hope spots, both Zaria and Soul screwing each other out of the title in this match quite a few times. That, like, you saw the visual pin and then the classic leg pulled where you're like, so each of them hate each other more now equally because they both had a chance to win this thing. I thought the finish was pretty smart. There was some pretty cool spots that, like, Tower of Doom was like a overhead, like, top rope thing. So that was pretty cool. I feel like if we had maybe more time or wasn't as like a TV special, maybe if this was like your stand and deliver, maybe you'd go even like an extra mile kind of thing. But clearly this was to elevate Jacy and remind people like, hey, she is our champion here. But then, like, this Zaria Soul thing, now we can really focus on that and get the one-on-one match that now people are really going to be like, calling for. So easily stand and deliver should be Soul and Zaria. Lose or leave NXT.
Yeah, I don't think that feud needs the title. And
no,
I enjoyed this. I thought Jacy won in a great way as well. Sort of still stealing it, but within this triple threat.
Yeah. It's a triple threat. She had her friends and Fallon in a nice St. Patrick's Day shirt. But yeah, she still won. So
maybe Soul and Zaria should have more friends,
Yeah, exactly. Always have friends to be there and help you out. But yeah, Jacy going into Stand and Deliver as champion makes the most sense. And as we've kind of said the last few weeks, we would like it if it went back to Kendall and that program and stuff, which I'm holding out for, but I guess we shall see.
We see Ricky Saints backstage, who says he never falls and the main event is stood right here. And after a setback, him and Ethan are on the same page because they know how to pivot. They beat Joe Hendry and Miles Bourne because they're a great tag team. And he's even been thinking of some tag team names. He's thinking the Slump Busters. And if Vanity Project were not the tag champs, they would totally go for the tag titles. But instead, they're after singles gold. And he says Ethan is after the North American Championship and Ricky is after being a 2-time NXT champion. This is when Ethan Page comes out and he says, Ricky, I dig the name, but I was thinking more maybe the Bounce Back Boys. But this part slipped your mind. I was the one who pinned Joe Hendry. And Ricky says, yeah, but you did lose to Miles Bourne twice, but it's okay. I'm a good friend, so I'll give you the floor to call out Miles Bourne. And Ethan says, yes, I would do that if I wanted to be 2-time North American champion. I do want to be a 2-time champion, but that's not the plan, pal. And that's when Joe Hendry interrupts. He comes out and says, Ethan has some good points, as he could do something that Ricky couldn't. But sure, it was from, but he beat me from smashing my face into the NXT championship. But maybe Ricky just doesn't want the title as much as Ethan does. So Joe tells Ricky that he couldn't beat him, he couldn't play the guitar, and he certainly couldn't sing, bringing up that awful absolute experience.
If you didn't watch it, you can't, because they've like seemed to. Okay, you can watch it on Netflix, but all the clips have just magically still disappeared.
And then Joe reminds them, didn't you face each other at last year's Stand and Deliver? Well, maybe that's what you could do this time and figure it out amongst yourselves. And Ricky's like, well, yeah, well, I won the match last year. And Ethan goes, yeah, well, shortly after I beat you for the North American title and became the longest reigning champion. They start bickering when Tony D'Angelo comes out from out of nowhere and spears Joe Hendry and lays out Ricky and Paige with spine busters. It looks like we're getting a 4-way at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah. Again, something we've kind of saw coming the last few weeks is like, hey, is this the right direction for the world title here, the NXT championship? And I think after this promo, that is definitely the direction. Who do you think had the better tag team name? What was it? The Slump Busters?
The Slump Busters or the Bounce Back Boys?
You know, I really don't like either of those names, but I think that was the joke of what they were saying. I could be wrong, but maybe I definitely didn't come up with this in my head, but Absolute Ego is right there. So that's definitely what they've used or talked about or mentioned before. In my brain, they were like tag team champions in AEW or something, but when they clearly were not. But I like the fact that this is we saw this when Ethan was like 2-time champion. He wasn't talking about the North American title. So and then I like Ethan and Ricky doing basically Chris Tucker, Jackie Chan, Rush Hour when they started they were about to beat up Joe, because they're like, what do you mean you're gonna beat up Joe? Well, I'm gonna beat up Joe. Oh, you are gonna? And then they both swing at the same time. So I'm like, yes, a little Rush Hour. But I think the 4-way is the right direction. And saying it now, just go with Tony D at this point.
Absolutely.
I don't think you need to go with Ricky or Ethan. In fact, I think post Stand and Deliver, both Ethan and Ricky should go up to the main roster. Dare I say as a unit, but like the 2-man power trip kind of thing. But I think Tony really needs it and could really maybe help NXT. So that's the direction I'd say. But good looking spine busters here too.
We see an unseen clip from last week's NXT backstage with The Birthright and Fit Finlay and William Regal. Lexis thanks Fit and Regal, and Fit says, well, it's your birthright. Regal says, yes, well, now you have to win that tag team tournament. This is when Robert Stone walks in, and Regal wants to talk to him in private. And Regal says, I think you're doing a great job dealing with all the chaos, and you dress well. I'm going to talk to Shawn Michaels and make this permanent. So it seems like we might lose that interim title from Mr. Stone.
I like this. Yeah. Good call. Like, this guy's
an
been
endorsement from the
time.
previous GM.
Yeah.
Right?
Not only do I agree with like Stone has been doing a way better job at I hate this thing in wrestling anyways, like the general manager role, but I understand it's a key part in WWE television. So I think over the last few months, or not months, but or maybe it has been, where Stone has been this GM role, I think it fits this show a little bit more. So not only am I happy that they're going that way, I think it was a nice little nod to, I don't know, people who have actually maybe watched NXT for a long time, where you see Regal, who, was the head guy on screen and behind the scenes, obviously. And here he is like, hey, we should make you permanent. So nice little tip of the hat there from the original villain. I like that. So shout out Stone. He has been doing
I've been enjoying Stone. I think he's doing a good job. So we go to our next match. It's Los Americanos, El Grande Americano with Bravo and Rayo against the Vanity Project. Oh boy, it is so confusing watching the Americanos right now.
I have no idea.
If you watch every show, so on Raw yesterday, we had El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano with, I think, Chad Gable being the babyface and Ludwig Kaiser being the heel. In AAA, it's very much the other way around. Ludwig Kaiser's El Grande Americano is so over, and Chad Gable is the heel. And here, they're like the main roster team coming to NXT against the Vanity Project and are total baby faces in this match. It's a little confusing, but I kind of find the act pretty fun. So
like, yeah, this gimmick, I'm sure there's people out there who absolutely hate it or dread it, but it's a funny gimmick regardless. So imagine you're going to this show, and whether you follow the product or not, if you don't, and maybe you're just a friend who is dragged to a show or dragged to watch Raw or whatever, or this show, and then you see these three larger than life luchadors dancing the way they do. Is that Tyler Bate? He's got some great moves. Why didn't he ever dance like this when he wasn't wearing a mask? Because that would have helped him. This is the reason why they're over, is because of some of the dancing, I think, that they get by with, because it's very funny. Like, you just see them and then you go, oh, that's great. I like these guys. So then you cheer. And then, yeah, when there's different versions of them, it's silly, obviously. And I'm not saying this is my favorite thing in wrestling by a fucking mile, but here it's like, it's three guys who are really good wrestlers, and for some reason couldn't get over with some other things. And well, we made you Mexican. It's borderline shitting on Lucha Libre, but at the same time honoring it. So I don't know. I thought it's fine, but I do know what you mean, because when I'm looking up at AAA.
All right. When did Elio Flor speak Spanish? Huh?
I mean, yeah, but he says I'm the French. Well, wait, Grande, Chad Gable is the one who can't speak Spanish, right? Who used AI.
Yeah, but Ludwig's pretty fluent. Yeah.
He's really good at it. That is true. So I don't know. I like seeing these guys, and I think this is the right position for them. Like, I always like Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, and like all three of them are just solid wrestlers. So I can't say I want to. I'm not complaining that I get to watch them wrestle, because it's pretty fun.
I enjoy this act. I enjoy this act.
Like, I like it. Like, I know it's dumb, but hey, I get to see them wrestle. And again, Tyler Bates got the moves.
I also worked out how to know which one's Bravo and which one's Rayo.
Okay.
Bravo wears blue, Rayo wears red.
Wow.
Bravo begins with B, and so does the word blue. Rayo begins with R, and so does the word red. There you go. You'll never get it wrong. Thank you. You're all very welcome, by the way.
Okay, now do the Basham Bros. Now do the Usos. Now
do the bald one with the gimp mask, and so is Danny. There we go. Isn't Doug the one still working with? One of them's in OVW, but let's not talk. One of the Bashams.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about OVW.
Yeah, but let's not talk about them right now. Anyway, we get some Ole chants early. Bravo. Tyler Bate is in. Oh, also Bate is a B as well.
Bravo.
So Bate is in blue and is Bravo.
Okay.
There we go.
That helps a lot. Wait, what's the other one name?
Dunn is in red and he's Rayo.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't.
But if you remember, Bate is blue and Bravo. The other one's Pete Dunne. Yeah, exactly.
Bravo. Yeah.
So Bravo is in there with Ricky Smokes and doing punches, doing punches in the corner, and the whole Houston crowd going along in Spanish. Then Vanity Project start doing this dance. I don't know what this was all about, but I wasn't against it.
I feel like that's what I mean. The dancing there, they wanted to rival the good
Ricky
dancing
Smokes
from
was
these
doing
guys.
like the hand to the face thing.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't like when I've seen, not that I've been out to the club in a while, but like that hand on the face, like the John Cena thing is popular, but this is more of like a Ricky Saints covering the face kind of thing. But I know the move, like, yeah.
Bravo takes out Smokes with a crossbody, and then El Grande comes in with a tope suicida, and then the Americanos all start to dance. Which one here did you think had the best moves?
Oh, easily B for
Pete
Bravo.
Dunne?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pete Dunne.
I was going for Rayo here, yeah. Drake then starts mocking Eddie Guerrero as he's hitting the Three Amigos, but Rayo counters with an X-Plex, and then El Grande Americano gets tagged in. He looks great. He's taking everyone out. There's a double blockbuster off the top rope to Smokes and Baylor, but Drake breaks up the pin. We then get the airplane spin from Bravo, just releasing, so they still rotate. Looks awesome. And then he gets thrown a blue cowboy hat, and he puts on the cowboy hat and hits a tope suicida whilst wearing it, and blink and you'll miss it. Ryo hits a moonsault at the same time. Looked very good. Then Ricky Smokes hits a burning hammer, but that gets broken up. We get a 450 splash from Drake to Americano, but Americano breaks up. Drake then does a roll up, and Baylor grabs the legs on the outside for a bit of a dirty pin here. But Ryo is pointing out to the ref, so the ref stops the pin. And as the ref is distracted and telling the Vanity Project to stop cheating, El Grande Americano loads the metal plate in his mask. But Drake moves Baylor into the way, who gets hit with the headbutt. Drake then hits a knee to Americano, and then an assisted... Ryo and Bravo come in with like a Russian leg sweep crossbody combo, and then El Grande Americano hits the running headbutt to Jackson Drake for the win.
Yeah, pretty fun match. Like all three of the Americanos, again, great workers, and it's just so funny considering their gimmicks before are so different from this. Like, especially I think of NXT days, Tyler Bate, NXT UK, Pete Dunne. Like Pete Dunne's gimmick was he was mad all the time, and here he is.
Tyler Bate's always been a bit silly, but Pete Dunne has been the serious, moody guy the whole time, and here we're seeing him wiggling his hips.
That's what I'm. Yeah, so it's definitely funny because considering like the last time he was on NXT was completely different. But hey, I feel like when we eventually get to a reveal, it could potentially help them. Like you could go back to being Tyler Bate. Oh, wait, that's Tyler Bate under there, Pete Dunne. And then hopefully you could go with them. But like great wrestlers, just, they always did miss something in there. I don't know, something. But this was really fun. We've said for the last little while that the Vanity Project are so much fun. Like these guys are super young, but have come into NXT and are so refreshing from... Sorry to rag on like the LFG guys or your volleyball players or football players or whatnot. Like these guys are so young, but come in and look polished and look like they actually know wrestling. So it stands out on TV. Like here they were going tit for tat with three vets, like, and they held their ground. It's Jackson Drake who hits that burning hammer, and it's Drake, awesome.
Yes.
We've seen him, and I hear Booker and Vic and definitely talking about like, hey, Jackson Drake, like we got something here. Like WWE got this guy's 22, like he could be something. We've said like as soon as this guy grows up a little bit, bulks up, and they could definitely have a killer on their head, because every time this guy wrestles, I'm like, oh man, this guy's great. So just like Kendall Gray had to drop the Evolve Championship for hopefully bigger things, I think the same thing needs to happen with him, or he loses it, so we can focus a bit more with him on NXT. But yeah, fun match. But again, like looking at the next steps of NXT, Vanity Project, my favorite thing going, these three guys. And I just love the name Ricky Smokes. I just can't get enough of how fun. Every time you say it, I just want to laugh. It's an easy pop for me. Ricky Smokes. Just so. And then the other guy looks like Matt Damon. So it's just great.
No, I echo everything you said. I thought this was super fun. Like there was comedy that kind of worked, but with some really good wrestling in there and just great pacing. Like all six of these guys are excellent. So recommend this one. We go backstage and we see Robert Stone with Speed champion Elio LaFleur, and Sean Legacy is in crutches and says he got hurt last week and is unable to compete. He's there with his new tag team partner, Eli Knight. And Stone says, well, Eli, you have to either forfeit your place in the tag tournament or find a new partner. And Elio just says, I'll do it because you haven't sorted out another tournament and I'm sick of tournaments anyway. So I'm just going to enter the tag division. And next week, they're going to be going up against the Culling. So Elio LaFleur and Eli Knight, which I believe was the team we originally said should get together, wasn't it? A couple of weeks ago?
Right. Yeah. Well, it sucks for Sean Legacy if this is legit. I mean, them saying and showing him on crutches here. I'm just going to assume I haven't necessarily looked up, but that sucks because he's been pretty good in the last little whiles. But so have Elio and so is Eli. So I hope they beat the culling and go forward. If not, like, go potentially all the way. But something a little bit later maybe leads me to think that they won't. But the tag champs now is Vanity Project and Swipe Right, like they're heels. So maybe we do need some baby faces. So yeah.
I see these two winning the tournament.
They win it. Okay. Yeah. I think
so.
Yeah. Like, I think that was definitely the plan with Legacy. So
the bracket is obviously tonight we get Birthright versus Hank and Tank, and then the other side is the culling versus Knight and LaFleur. So yeah, I see it big. Knight and LaFleur winning this.
Yeah.
Sol Ruca then comes in and says, "Did you see that? I got screwed by Zaria again." And Stone is like, "Yeah, well, it's triple threat match." And she says, "Well, next week I want to see her face to face." I thought Sol kind of came across a little heelish again here.
She did. Yeah, she definitely did. Like, she's a bit mean, but I don't know. Maybe this is some sort of way to double turn, but easily something that's going to set up the match for Stand and Deliver. The challenge will be laid out next Tuesday for sure with these two. But
we then cut to the ring and we see Vic Joseph with some other people in the ring. We learn to be Reality of Wrestling students and some of Booker T's family. And Vic says, to steal a quote, "Tonight is about checks and championships, but I'm here to honor a man who is a 6-time world champion and a 2-time Hall of Famer, Houston's favorite son, Booker T." Booker's music hits. He gets up from commentary desk, goes to the ring, and Vic says that they've worked together for 3 years. And I asked him on our first day, "What is your legacy?" And he said, "Well, it's making moments for the fans, but most of all, getting respect of my peers." And we cut to a video package where we have a bunch of different NXT and main roster superstars giving their thoughts on Booker T. Vic saying he remembers being a big fan of Harlem Heat back in the day. We see Jasper Troy doing the five-time WCW champion. Stone Cold Steve Austin bringing up beating the shit out of Booker T in a supermarket. Joe Hendry bringing up Booker's entertainment value, as you're seeing clips of King Booker. And Jacy saying that, like, kind of talking about her confidence, and it was really Booker's commentary and putting her over, making her this rock star. And Stephanie saying, "Yeah, Book, you reduced me to one move and a sex object by doing the devil's kiss." No, didn't quite say it that way, but said, "You really got my move over." Trick Williams saying he calls him Uncle Book, and thank you for like making me feel like a star. So yeah. What did you think of the video package here?
Yeah, it showed all the people that he's definitely helped. I think he kind of, stamped his Booker T approval sticker on, like, Roxanne Perez. It had some clips of her now being on the main roster. Like, he was definitely one in her corner from day one. Vicaire, Trick Williams, obviously. Like, the Trick thing, like the ad libs alone is the one thing. Like, the one thing, if you were to say, well, Stephanie Vicaire would have got over on her own. You probably say the same thing about Roxanne. Trick, he's a great talker, probably, but he adds little things that, I don't know, it does help get certain people over. And if he really does like you, or if you work Reality of Wrestling, he'll really go out of his way to put his stock in you. And I don't know, we've talked about our love-hate relationship with Booker T. Now, we're not sure over these 3.5 years or whatever it's been, if we've just been beaten into submission. At least speaking for myself, that, like, I get this sick enjoyment out of his commentary sometimes. Like, he is hyped half the time. I joke, like, but he jokes about doing a lot of Red Bull before shows and getting hyped up and caffeine and all that, because he's that, he brings the energy kind of thing, right? So he's never ever been one of my favorite wrestlers, but I can't deny that I've loved some stuff from him in the past, like that grocery store fight and King Booker and some other stuff. But this was fine. It was missing? It was missing Triple H, WrestleMania 19. It was missing that clip of Triple H just hitting the pedigree and then oh, should I pin him?
Should I pin
Should
this
I?
guy?
Oh, wait. Nah, I'm not going to pin. Should I pin him? Let me pin him. Yeah, I'm going to pin him, and then pins him. And I still think of that moment kind of sucking. But yeah, we kind of said last week, like grocery store comes to mind, the best of 7 series, both WCW and WWE with Redacted. But how did you feel about this, and where are you at with
I liked,
now,
I mean, it is like people like Jacy, Trick, Roxanne, Stephanie, like I'd say his commentary has enhanced them and has helped them.
Yeah.
But kind of as you said, you watch this appreciation video and there's not a single match, right? Yeah. They don't highlight a single match. They show him holding the title. They show him being the king and being beaten up in a supermarket, but there isn't a match. But it's not always about that. Like he's been a great character in wrestling for a long time, and he can grate on me, but man, like he has added to the Trick Williams presentation and stuff like that, and you can't deny that.
Like he definitely still annoys me and says things that I'm like, this is ridiculous. But I don't know. Like this is NXT. He's not calling WrestleMania or Raw like he used to and stuff. So like I don't mind Booker T here. In fact, it adds to the show. I like talking about wild things he says. I like when he screams and stuff. So I guess that means we're a fan. And you know, I think the thing that also maybe rubs me the wrong way as a fan is like he has, you know, here it shows him being all supportive of wrestlers, but I know in the past he's also been the opposite. He's been pretty vocal on whether it's podcasts or social media. And this video here is like, look, he helps so many other people, but like I know there's probably some wrestlers that if you showed this to, they'd be like, really? That's not how you were to me.
I feel he's a bit too much of a WWE guy, you know, and it's like until you're there, he's not going to really have that respect for you or whatever.
Exactly.
Like there's certainly
totally
like stuff with Bucks, stuff with Swerve Strickland recently, and things like that. Where, I find a lot of the time he says stuff for the sake of saying it, and I wonder how much he actually, you know, has seen someone's work when he's making an opinion, things like that.
Yeah, that's definitely it. It's definitely the Swerve stuff that's like, dude, why? Like, that's just so weird. But he's totally a WWE guy, and I get it, I guess. But I can't say he's one of my favorites, but totally have him in the Boogeyman when Kurt Angle said some very outlandish shit in a program with his wife. Booker T, man, what a legend. Put him in the Hall of Fame. He's in it already, right?
He's in it twice,
Put him in again. Put him in again.
Third time.
Put the main event Mafia in the.
Sure. Vic Josephs gives him a plaque commemorating Booker T Appreciation Night, and his students and family are there. And Booker says, "Wow, it's been an amazing ride. Thank you for making this possible." And he's getting all teary-eyed when Keanu Carver comes out and says, "Don't give this man attention." And he's just laying out people as he comes to the ring. And he says, "You got 10 seconds to step out of my ring before I do something to you." And Carver lays out more of his students. Vic Joseph just books it out the ring. And it's like, I have to be on commentary for this. Put the cans back on. And then Jasper Troy runs out. And Troy lays out Keanu Carver. And he's like, "Let's do this right now. Let's do this right now." And security do a big pull apart. So Jasper Troy, Booker's LFG student, coming to the aid of Booker T.
Yes. Stand and deliver match. Big stand and, you know, WrestleMania's got Brock and Oba, but we got two big meaty men here. Jasper Troy, Keanu Carver. Book it.
I mean, we've both given a lot of shit to Jasper Troy. I think the 2 triple threat matches recently were pretty good. And I think he's starting to show a little bit more personality than we saw in recent weeks. Like I kind of liked seeing this, him coming to the aid of Booker T. I'm not the biggest fan of his, but like I'm starting to see a little bit of development from the guy. And
yeah,
we'll see how this progresses and how the match is.
We telegraphed this as soon as they announced this. We're like, anyone could have seen that. Like, okay, this is for a reason to continue this feud of Carver calling him out and all that stuff. So I think this was done properly, as much as we saw it coming. But yeah, it's a great way to continue this feud. The gimmick of Jasper Troy was that Booker T is just your trainer, or your boy, or whatever. But these poor reality of wrestling guys getting beat up, though. all around the ring here. But yeah,
Booker then yelling, "Mr. Stone, that kind of stuff should be happening in my city." That was kind of
Houston.
funny.
Yeah. What do you think of that plaque? Kind of shit.
Oh, come on, man. Where's your plaque?
It was that looks like identical to a plaque I got in fucking high school. So that's why I was like, yeah, that looks like not the most, like I've seen stuff on WWE Shop that looks more impressive than this basic ass plaque. That's just nitpicking, but he then like poses with it and I'm like, it doesn't even have anything on it. It could have been like a belt, it could have been like big gold. The thing with WWE, now I know this is NXT, so I'm sorry, but like when it was Goldberg's retirement, they tried to tell you like, look, it's Goldberg's retirement. But when I watched it, I was like, it seems like you guys don't care it's Goldberg's retirement. And I kind of felt like that here today. You mentioned that video didn't show Booker T. It showed all the people he's helped in the last like years or so. So it's just like,
I mean, to be fair, this was to do this angle. Right,
Yeah.
Like the guy's already been in the Hall of Fame twice. Like he's had his flowers a few times, but like it was more of it was to build this angle. Just
funny. I need Booker T to hit the scissor kick or the bookend at Stand and Deliver to help Jasper Troy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's got to do something, some physicality to help Jasper Troy win.
And then the spin-a-rooney.
Sure. And Jasper Troy does spin-a-rooney as well.
Yeah.
He can pass it on to him. There we go. We go to the Women's Speed Championship. Fallon Henley defending against Wren Sinclair. This is for the championship, so 5 minutes on the clock. And Booker says he's making a phone call. He's getting security here. Like, enough is enough. Come on. We learned that
calling?
I don't know. Wren said that if she wins, she's going to do the Texas two-step. Fallon Henley, or the only one I thought on this show representing St. Patrick's Day, the only one in green here.
It was very nice. Yeah, well, I saw Fallon was wearing the shirt earlier, but yeah, some green here, and I would like to see the two-step. Maybe they could do it to some Nickelback, perhaps.
We get some crucifix pin attempts early from Fallon. From Wren. Fallon's shoulder is all taped up in this match, so we have Wren Sinclair targeting that. 3 minutes left. They start trading chops. And then finally, Wren locks in the final wrench and Fallon taps with about 1 minute 20 on the clock. And Wren Sinclair is your new Speed Women's Champion.
Yeah, way to go, Wren. We're definitely happy about that. Like, she's definitely been a character that has improved, not just like the wrestling, but the character, the comedy, the everything. So finally giving her something here is a step in the right direction. She worked on the shoulder because earlier she got the F5 or whatever, right, with Fallon. So that was the story of this match. She kept trying to go for that move and then finally locks it in. So yeah, they said she's originally from somewhere in Texas, not necessarily Houston, but pretty cool for her to win her first ever title in NXT. Okay, it's the Speed title, but still it's something, right? So pretty cool for her. And this opens up Fallon for, I'm not going to say a Jacy Jayne match at Stand and Deliver, but I think I'd still eventually want to see that or hear that out and see if we could do like a Jacy Fallon feud. But I'm really happy for Wren. She's been someone who's really stepped up, and I think down the line could be another champion in NXT if things go right. But yeah.
I'm happy with the result. I thought even with the, it's fight, this went what? Like 3.5 minutes, 3.5 minutes essentially. I was disappointed. Like I really like Wren and Fallon. I think they're both pretty good wrestlers, and I didn't think there was much at all. I know there's the time restraints, but I think we've seen people do more in this time than these two did, unfortunately. So I was happy with the result. I like both them. It was a nothing match, I thought.
And we didn't get two-step.
And we didn't see the two-step. Yeah. We see Ricky Saints backstage. He's complaining to Robert Stone. He says, "Did you see what happened to me?" And Ethan Page is with him and says, "Us? What happened to us?" Stone agrees that it was uncalled for, and they ask Stone to do something about it. And Page says, "Yeah." And that's why Ricky Saints wants to take Tony D'Angelo on one-on-one next week. And Saints doesn't look happy about it, but he's like, yeah, no, we'll do that. And I'm super excited because my good friend Ethan Page will be in my corner.
I like when, I think the coexist thing is maybe played out in wrestling, but when these two characters that are heels keep trying to do this stuff that's like, undermining the other guy, like I like it when that for some reason, I guess talking about Redacted, but Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit, when they were like tag team partners, they fucking hated each other and they kept doing shit to like get at each other, but then they were still like bad guys together, if that made sense. Whereas these two are so similar, like Ethan and Ricky both kind of in this time, like both former champs, both want rematches, both egotistical kind of maniacs. So I like that they went with this because I think the direction is the 4-way, and that would be the best case scenario with what's going on with NXT and our division. So I like that this eventually we're going to see like one of them, attack the other one first. And I think it could come next week. So yeah, I kind of like Ethan has just been, I just want them on the main roster. So we got to get through this first, but yeah, I'd say Ethan and Ricky together. I like the pairing. They're very similar.
We go to our NXT Tag Team Championship tournament match. Hank and Tank taking on the Birthright, the team of Stax and Uriah Connors. Tank makes the tag and is just laying out everyone. Takes out Lexis and Charlie on the floor with a somersault senton. We then get a superplex from Hank, followed by a swanton from Tank to Stax. Goes to the pin, but Uriah Connors breaks it up with a swanton of his own. And then Lexis King kind of causes a bit of distraction, confusing Hank and Tank, where Stax is not the legal man, but they hit him with their headbutt power slam combo, go for the pin, but Stax isn't legal, allowing Uriah to come in and do the roll up for the win. And it is the Birthright advancing in the tag team tournament.
Because it's their birthright.
It is their birthright
to win. Are you already sick of that catchphrase? Because they've said it like 4 times. I think on this show, it's our birthright. It's basically the Nepo baby.
Yeah.
Any Nepo baby that do they say that? It's my birthright. This was a fun match. Tank's hot tag is pretty crazy. Like he's the crazy one of this group. Like he comes in and is doing, like you said, swantons and slams and stuff. Hank, he's definitely improved too, like the big boss man and stuff. Like I like this tag team too, but were you shocked that it was Stax and Uriah? Later on, it kind of explains later that like there was a reason for that, but like, yeah, like maybe I was expecting Charlie and Uriah to, baby Regal, baby Finley, but Stax is here because of marriage or by not blood, but
yeah, I mean,
have you seen the Twitter, the tweet from him? Someone's like, hey, wait, the photo from last week, it's Stax, Regal, Ariana, Finley, you're like all of them. And people were like, wait, why is like all these like maybe people who don't watch NXT are like, wait, why is Stax in the Birthright, the Nepo baby group? And basically his reply was, because I'm fucking.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, okay, yep, you're Birthright. Yeah. So I'm happy that they won. And I think I like the fact that we have something for Uriah, Stax, Charlie. So if it happens to be your Lexis King's buddies, so be it, I guess. I didn't think this match got anything like, too crazy, but there was some cool stuff in it.
Yeah, it didn't get a whole lot of time. I do like all 4 guys actually in this match. Yeah. I enjoy Hank and Tank as a tag team, and actually think for something like Stand and Deliver, I'd kind of like to get them in there instead, but I don't necessarily seeing the Birthright winning. I'd be going with Eli and Elio for this.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, I don't know if you do another multi thing. I mean, tag matches are already multiple people in it, but we think it's going for a 4-way for the main title. There's probably some sort of multi-person ladder match. It's probably just a 2-on-2, and if Vanity Project are still the champs, then they're heels. So I don't know. Hank and Tank could have easily been the go-to rematch, but
you're not going with the culling. So I mean, the final is probably going to be Birthright versus
Eli Knight and Elio.
yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely I think that's definitely...
apparently this is saying that the final's at Roadblock on March 31st. So probably Birthright versus Elio and Eli. I would go with Eli and Elio for sure.
I would too. Yeah, that makes total sense. But it was cool. Like Uriah finally wrestling in a heel role now too. So it's cool to see that. And Stacks has always been decent, and I think again maybe something he can sink his teeth into. That's not so much like what he was doing before. And where's that Heritage Cup at?
Yeah, I think I skipped over it, but there was a moment earlier in the show where Wren Sinclair was with Kendall Gray, and Kendall brought up that she's vacated the Evolve Championship to go for the NXT Women's Championship. It pretty much sounded like she is challenging Jacy at Stand and Deliver. It sounded almost confirmed that is whoever wins the triple threat on this show will be facing Kendall. So
so she gave up her title like NXT in the past. When was it? JBL, who was GM, was like, "Hey Paige, you can't be double champ." So she gave up that title so that she can. Look how many layers there is here in WWE. There is the main roster, NXT, and now people are graduating from Evolve to go to NXT. So I feel like she's got to be the one to.
I mean, that's life, isn't it? You got to give up your job to take your better job, right?
Yeah. So I feel like she's gonna be the one to beat Jacy at San. I
think so.
Yeah, book it.
We see Joe Hendry backstage, who wants it to be him versus Tony D'Angelo next week. And Stone says, I can't make that match because I've already made a main event for next week, and that's Ethan Page. Ethan and Ricky got to him first, and it's Ricky versus Tony next week. And then we cut to Dark State and OTM fighting backstage, where Dion Lennox throws Price off this like stage area by the trucks and keeps reminding him that ain't nobody safe. Which actually means you're all safe, boys. You're all safe.
They didn't look that safe though, but yeah. I'm assuming we're getting this at like Roadblock or Stand and Deliver or something too.
Some plunder match.
Yeah.
We then cut to Tatum, Paxley, and Thea Hale backstage in the locker room. And Thea, who's wearing this like Jack Daniels like spoof t-shirt here for Thea.
Is she 21 now? Can she drink?
I guess. Yeah. Thea's telling Tatum, you got this. Don't care what people say about you. I've had my fair share of hate in my life, and it's okay. And Tatum says, thanks, Thea. We need more people like you. And Kalani walks in, just mocks them, says, I used to be like you, Thea, and people step all over you. And you got to like grow a backbone and stand up for yourself a bit more. When Jada walks in and tells Thea to ignore Kalani because all she's good at is getting her ass beat. And Thea tells Kalani, last week you got knocked out, and next week you're going to get tapped out. So next week we're getting Kalani Jordan versus Thea Hale.
Nice. Yeah. Like we saw the same characters a few times. Like Kalani, Lola beat her. Does Lola have an excuse to go for some title because she won that feud kind of thing? Like I feel like we're maybe treading around a lot of women who were feuding with each other now, kind of switching who's feuding. And then like, especially where we go to at the end of the show, like I am wondering if there's some sort of multi-woman ladder match.
North American title.
The way the titles, these titles were created, they always tend to go back to that. But like Kalani hot off the feud with Lola, and then Jada was just with Blake, right? So I don't know. You could put all of these people in one big match. So I think that's the direction.
We see Jacy Jayne with Fatal Influence, and she's celebrating her win. However, Fallon is upset after getting beaten, and she's like, ugh. And Jacy's like, it's okay, you'll get your title back. It's like, well, I got to now go through a whole tournament to get the speed title back. And Jacy says, and she's like, well, you won't need a match before Stand and Deliver. And she goes, actually, that's a good point. Let's find Stone. And thank you for helping me with Kendall. kind of implying that she's going to set up a bunch of matches for, I guess, Laney versus Kendall and Fallon versus Kendall ahead of Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, probably in the next few weeks we'll get those singles matches. But again, referencing Kendall, so I do think that's easily the Stand and Deliver match. But yeah, I feel bad for Fallon. Like if we think of this whole Jacy Jayne title run, I know she lost it and won it back, but you'd imagine we do the classic, like Fallon breaks through and is the one to take it from her, right? But they never follow up or go that direction, and I don't think we will.
Honestly, though, for their sake, I think they're way stronger moving up together. I feel like both can break through, move them up as a tag team, and both of them hopefully will break through as a bigger star. But I just feel there's a better role for them just moving them up together as a tag team.
Yeah.
And therefore you have that awkward thing that we've seen so many times where you do the feud and then it's like, we've now got to try and recreate that on the main roster or just never recapture that magic. So I kind of don't mind.
Yeah. Okay. Put them on the main roster together. Tag titles. So
yeah. We then see Miles Bourne, who approaches Robert Stone and wants to know who his opponent at Stand and Deliver will be for the NXT North American Championship. And Stone goes, you know what? I'm going to set up a gauntlet. We're going to have a gauntlet match. And the winner of that will face Miles. And Lexis King walks in and says, we're so close to the tag titles and I will be going for the North American Championship. So Lexis is going to be in that gauntlet. And this is possibly going to be your Stand and Deliver match.
Yeah. Okay. So Charlie versus Miles, maybe Stand and Deliver, right? North American.
Sorry, you think Charlie versus Miles, not Lexis?
Yeah. Fucking hope not.
Like, I mean, it felt like it was Lexis wanting to go for it. No,
I feel like Lexis may be talking for Charlie.
Okay.
Like I'm maybe in the back of my head, I'm just like, please don't let it be Lexis. I don't want to watch him wrestle. I want to watch Charlie wrestle. I've been waiting for the son of the regal son to fuck some people up. So I don't know. I'm holding.
I mean, there's that history, right, between them.
True.
So.
Yeah. Exactly. So maybe we do go that direction. I think that's. Okay. I don't think anyone wants to see Lexis King.
Oh no, I'd wait.
I like him as the man, like the mouthpiece for.
Sure.
These guys, sure. He's got a cane and dresses like he's honky tonk or whatever. But like, yeah, I hope it's Charlie versus Miles. And it's funny they called it Gauntlet Eliminator. So I think Charlie should win it, and that's the match. And then now you have. I don't see the Birthright winning the tag titles, but at least maybe we pick up that belt at Stand and Deliver. I'm not sure, but Miles and Charlie could definitely be a fun match as well. I'm waiting for Charlie to talking about breaking through. Like he's someone I hope we can get something out of him because he's kind of been pigeonholed in this, like, I love technical wrestling stable in NXT. So finally he's with the bad Nepo babies. So it's a new coat of paint. So I'm holding out for that.
We're getting Sexy Red.
It's his birthright, as they said. Yes. Oh, yes. This is it. The real main event. Sexy Red, who... I think since the last time we saw her, maybe lost some steam, some relevancy, maybe a little bit. So I don't know if she needs NXT or NXT needs Sexy Red, but it was fine the last time. We mentioned the twerking with Lola.
They're a match made in heaven, these two.
NXT and Sexy Red, or Sean and Sexy Red. But yeah,
all of it.
I'm for it. Like, okay, I'm okay with crossovers, but I am sick of. I'm a little tired of Jelly Roll, but she does a lot more than.
What's Jelly Roll done? Come on.
He does a lot more than Sexy Red. So, and Sexy Red, I could be wrong, but didn't need cue cards like Cardi B the last time. But
no,
yeah, I'm for it. She can perform if she's from here. Yeah, let's do it. And it looks like one of her new songs might be sampling Shawn Michaels. I don't know. Maybe she'll. Perform.
Oh right, okay. Is that why?
I said that last time because she's referenced it. Maybe they just can't clear the sample or something. But
okay.
Anyways.
All right. Well, we'll see what she does.
I'll
I'm
keep
very
everyone
excited.
informed on the Sexy Red NXT update.
Big Sexy Red fan here.
What's your favorite Sexy Red song?
Oh, the one about being a bad bitch.
That's a safe bet. She's probably got some lyrics about being a bad bitch.
You know, Get It Sexy and Pound Town. They're good ones.
Was that what she performed or talked about last time?
Fake Jammin's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ski Ye, you know.
Right.
Just all the sexy songs she does.
She does have one, like she does the one with Drake where it's hands on your knees, hands, and I've seen people go crazy for that song. So again, but that was like a few years ago. So I don't know if she still got it, but we'll see at Stand and Deliver. Let's see if she can stand and deliver in St. Louis.
We go to our main event. It's Tatum Paxley versus Izzi Dame in a steel cage match for the NXT Women's North American Championship. And they made clear, not that common in WWE steel cage matches, but this is pinfall or submission only, no escape from the cage.
Yes, the way it should be, honestly. Yeah. Honestly.
Izzi attacks Tatum on her entrance. I did think Izzy's gear here looked quite babyface. It almost looked quite Sol Ruca-esque. It was like all this neon graffiti on her trousers. Izzi hits a suplex on the floor. There are Izzi sucks chants. Izzi then grabs a chair and brings it into the ring. And now they're in the cage and they're locked in there. Izzi goes to attack Tatum with the chair, but Tatum gets out the way and Tatum manages to get the chair off her. So now Izzy's trying to escape and Tatum is climbing after her. They both are on the top of the cage. They're trading punches. They both go down and Tatum hits a whisper in the wind, but doesn't get all of it. Only a 2 count. Tatum grabs the chair and starts whacking Izzi with it. There's then a powerbomb from Izzi on Tatum on the chair for a 2 count. And then Tatum throws the chair at Izzi, who catches it and then delivers like a rolling capo kick to the chair to Izzi and follows up with Cemetery Drive for the win. And Tatum retains the NXT Women's North American Championship.
There's some cool stuff in this match. The whisper in the wind, the superplex. That superplex by Izzi really, like, just you hear the thud or the smacking sound of Tatum hitting the mat there. It was really good. But I don't know if it got to maybe the levels of, didn't necessarily love the last one, but I think of that first big one where they fought, right? Of the feud, like when they finally broke up and had the big grudge match. But I don't know. I didn't necessarily like this. It wasn't bad by any means, but it didn't stand out. I would say it was the weakest of their big matches that we've seen on TV.
Yeah, I'm glad it's over. Like this feud.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah, go for it.
I thought it was disappointing. I often feel like we said at the top, a lot happens in NXT. It's very go, go, go. And I always think the main event is often like, I feel 5 minutes too short.
Rushed.
And I feel the main event always feels super rushed, even more so since it's CW and they've got the hard out of 10 o'clock. And I think it, for a cage match, it didn't really reach a cage match plus the length of time this feud has gone on. This didn't feel like a blow-off match. This did feel a bit like a singles match that happened to have a cage around it. I can't remember which one. There was definitely a match of theirs that I enjoyed more. Maybe it was the last one. I think what was the Vengeance Day one? Maybe, but but it seems to be over. Tatum is celebrating with the title. She's on the stage when a trapdoor opens, and it's Kane. No, sorry, it's Blake Monroe, the woman from hell, drags Tatum down into the pits of hell and stands tall with the NXT Women's North American Championship.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I don't know if it would just be Tatum versus Blake one-on-one, which I guess could be, but then what do you do with a lot of the other people that you want to squeeze on this show that they tend to
want to do. So I'm totally okay with Blake and Tatum one-on-one, but I think they would probably want to do that 6-woman ladder match, including, Lola, Jada, Kalani, and possibly a few others. But yeah, I didn't care for this cage match. I like Tatum. I'm happy this feud is over. We said that the last time it was the match, but it's Izzi. I think it was my problem with this feud. And I'm looking deep into it's like therapy here. I'm like, what is the root of this? Why do I not like this? Well, I don't really like Izzi. Why don't I like Izzi? Because she's in this really stupid group that I don't know what the gimmick is. So I didn't like this match, and I was a bit let down considering I felt like after the last one when they psyched us of like, oh, wait, no, actually, we're going to do it one more time in a cage. I'm like, okay, do it properly. But as you said, this felt so rushed. It's like this wasn't a cage match, and they had like 10 minutes. Like it's a shame with these NXT like TV specials because they still try to do so much, but I think you could have cut out a few things on this show to give the wrestling some time, because those few extra like overrun minutes on wrestling helps a lot, because it's not just you need to be done right now. And I think that maybe this was definitely suffered from that. But I hope we can bounce back with Tatum going forward. Like, I still think she's definitely someone that I like here in NXT. But I'm not necessarily too sold on Izzi after this rivalry, this feud. And I'm not sure where we go with her either, unless you put her in this supposed ladder match. But yeah, I don't know about this whole episode. It wasn't necessarily bad by any means. There wasn't any matches that like were blow away, but we're getting some direction for what is supposed to be the biggest, show of this year with Stand and Deliver. And I think after tonight, we definitely see the roadmaps of where we are going. And then of course we got a roadblock. So I didn't hate it by any means, because we're setting things up, but didn't necessarily hit maybe the way I thought it was going to, if that makes sense.
I probably enjoyed the Americanos match the most on this show. I think we are probably doing Tatum versus Blake at Stand and Deliver, unless they hotshot it to Roadblock and you do a multi-person match. I'd almost prefer, I think, the ladder match be for maybe number one contender, like be for the next challenger for the women's title or something like that. And that's a way you can get them all doing something, and just do Tatum Blake one-on-one perhaps. But yeah, I thought this was fine, this week's show. They build it up really well. I thought this build to Houston, and I enjoyed the Booker T stuff, Americanos, but yeah, the main event disappointed. The opening triple threat was pretty good as well, Jacy, Soul, and Zaria. But at least we can see direction. I think we can kind of start to put together what Stand and Deliver is going to look like. Yeah,
Kendall, Jacy, possibly here Tatum and Blake, or the ladder or something. Maybe Charles and Miles with that battle royal next week. So they got some things cooking up. The 4-way for the men's NXT title. So Zaria versus Soul one-on-one, So yeah, there's some things cooking for Stand and Deliver. At least we've leveled back out. Like I didn't, this episode didn't necessarily blow me away, but I like some of the direction we are going for, and Sexy Red. So come on, how could you be mad at this? Really? So yeah, next week, Tony versus Ricky, that gauntlet thing, a face-to-face with Soul and Zaria. By next week, after next week, we'll definitely have some matches like down on paper, official, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, that's what we thought. I'm trying to see if we had any feedback this week for the show. Let's have a look. We do feedback every week on Facebook.com, on the Poisonrana group. If you aren't a member yet, please join us. It doesn't look like anyone left anything this week.
That's okay. That's all right. Well, there you go. That was us talking about NXT. And I will be joined by Jack next Tuesday, same time, right after NXT, right here at Post Wrestling. And like I mentioned, John and I will be doing a Stand and Deliver post show as well. But before you go on your trip, this Sunday, we're doing one final last Poisonrana for a few weeks. Well, Sunday, 2 p.m., we'll talk about Dynamite and everything else in the world of wrestling. So if you like hearing us talk about NXT, check out Poison Rana live Sunday at 2 on our YouTube. The audio goes up later on our free feed, Poison Rana in your Spotify, Apple, whatever it is, and Poisonrana.ca for links of everything else that we do, our Leprechaun in the Hood, our best match ever, AJ Styles. There's so many different podcasts for you on our Patreon and our free feed and everything. So appreciate everyone out there in the post-wrestling world, and we will talk very, very soon. That is it. That is all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And tell me you didn't just say that.
Ahoy!